Welcome to the Bold and Brilliant podcast, where women leaders share inspiring stories about daring decisions that shape their businesses, their lives, and their careers. I'm Tracie Root, founder of the Gather community and host of the Bold and Brilliant podcast. And today I'm bringing you a message from my own heart, my own experience. Let's talk about the truth about motivation. You ready? Welcome to the Bold and Brilliant podcast. Hey everyone, it's Tracie, and I am here because the Bold and Brilliant podcast is my podcast. And when I created it last year, when I came up with the concept, I decided I wanted to do a combination of interviewing amazing women, which I love doing, gather communities based on connecting and highlighting other amazing women leaders and entrepreneurs. But I also wanted to share some of my thoughts and my expertise, honestly, related to building community, entrepreneurship, leadership, coaching, holding space for people so that they can grow and thrive, all these kinds of things. And most of the podcasters that I talked to as I was creating all of these ideas told me that the interviews are easy because there's someone else there. But making yourself sit down and do solo episodes is not as easy, is a little more challenging. And I have so found that to be true. So here I am doing a solo episode, bringing you some thoughts. And what did I do? I decided to just get in action. I don't know how it's going to go. That is okay because perfection is not required. And really what I want to do is be an example for other podcasters, for other people in my community, to show that even when you're not sure what to do, the most important thing is to take action. Take bold action. This is what I always say. So what did I do? I asked my friend over here on my second screen, Mr. ChatGPT. I've decided that he or she, I'm going to call my ChatGPT they. I'm very LGBTQ inclusive. Anyway, gender neutral. They are going to help me with a bunch of topics with bullet points. And my ChatGPT knows me quite well now because the support that they give me related to helping me work through ideas has been monumental for my business. Don't knock it till you try it, people. And one of the 30 topics with bullet points it just gave me is called The Truth About Motivation. It's Not What You Think. And so this is the one I'm going to talk about because it's just so spot on for exactly what we're talking about already. So here we go. The truth about motivation is that it's not a thing. Like motivation isn't a thing you can get. It's something that comes from within after you already take action. So the biggest trick of all of this motivation stuff is to get into action. I actually was talking with my teenager about this very same thing not long ago, that when you're feeling unmotivated, the number one thing you can do is to take action, any kind of action, just do something. Because here's the thing, if you don't feel like getting started, you're not gonna start. Those feelings, like they ball up inside us to when we decide that not only do we not feel like it, but even if we did, it's just going to turn out terrible. And so why should we even start? And there's that word, should, creeping into the narrative. It's the worst word. I literally have done, literally is another one of those. I have done everything I can to try to remove the word should from my vocabulary entirely. I don't really know of any good place where the word should can live and be helpful. Because anytime we think, I should do this, I should do that, that should be that way, they should be that way, life should be easy. It's not necessarily that it's a judgment, although a lot of times it is a judgment, that we are judging it for being different than what we think it should be. but that there is no one way for anything to be. So how can we say it should be anything? Even when we're talking about people, like this is a good example, people treating people with kindness. People should treat people with kindness. That's a phrase that I don't know that anyone at a first glance would really argue about, because treating people with kindness is great. I love it. It's my goal to treat everyone with kindness. Doesn't mean being a doormat. It means not treating them with unkindness. But to say people should treat people with kindness implies that you know all of the situation and you know the relationships and you know all of the details inside and out and up and down and through related to one person treating another person with kindness. So that's a good example of the idea of should not being a great like philosophy. And so when we tell ourselves, I should do these things, if I had told myself I should do some single solo episodes, if I had let that kind of fester in me, I think that I would have felt really poorly about my own. I don't know what the right word is. I would have felt poorly. I would have felt bad. I don't know if poorly is the right word. I would have felt bad about what I've done to date and how I haven't done the things that I told myself I was going to do. And I clearly am not moving forward with my goal and all those things. So if I listen to myself saying I should do this thing, I probably will do the opposite. That's kind of like a toddler thing too, right? You tell a little kid, you shouldn't do that. And of course, they're going to do it, right? You tell a teenager, you shouldn't do that. They're going to do it because that's all about pushing boundaries and growing. Well, if we're going to tell ourselves now that we're grown adults that we should or shouldn't do something, well, we might actually listen to ourselves, because sometimes we're not in that toddler or teenage stage where we are trying to push boundaries. We're adults and we're kind of trying to stay safe and sane. So when you don't feel like getting started, we don't want to tell ourselves, oh, you should do something or you shouldn't do something. Just know that it's okay to not feel like doing it. And then do it anyway, if you know it's the right thing to do for your progress or goals or growth, because you don't have to feel like it to get started. You just have to start. My mentor, when I first started working with my business coach, the concept of just making a decision and going with it that day was very not where I was at the time. That's why I hired a coach. And when she told me to decide when, where, what you're going to do, and then schedule it, and then tell someone about it, and then keep telling people about it, and then figure out what you're going to do with it, it was frightening. It was terrifying. And I did it anyway, because I trusted her to guide me, because that was the whole reason we were working together in the first place and why I made the investment in my time and in my thoughts and in my money. And I still think back to that day where, wow, it was such a simple formula. Decide what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, what you're going to charge, what it's called, how to talk about it a little bit, and then get started. Just get started. Take action, take bold action. And ever since that day, I've been in action. Now, am I perfectly consistent? No, because perfection is not required, but consistency is huge. And the thing is that motivation, back to the truth about motivation, motivation follows momentum. So much like a rock rolling down a hill, you've seen boulders at the tops of mountains and they're just sitting there. But if that boulder gets in motion, it's not only going to start rolling and keep rolling, but it's probably going to keep rolling faster until it gets to, a certain velocity. What's that called? Terminal velocity, right? The fastest it could probably go. But it's all about getting it started, because when it starts, then it continues and it builds up momentum. It builds up its speed. It builds up momentum so that it can keep continuing with less and less effort. So when you start by taking action, You keep taking action. Now taking action doesn't seem so difficult. So motivation follows momentum. And the last thing, which is the whole reason why I started today, is that consistency beats intensity. Now, did I ask my ChatGPT friend to give me a topic to talk about today? No. I asked them to give me 30 topics. And what's today, June 13th? Well, 30 topics. I'm not going to be doing this every day, or at least I'm not going to be releasing the episodes every day. But 30, honestly, 30 might be a year's worth of content. But even if with these 30, if I only like 20 of them, I'm going to be good till like Q4 this year. That's exciting. That's enough to, again, give you more like excitement about taking action so the motivation continues. It's thrilling to think that in front of me, I have at least probably 20 topics that I could honestly sit down and record right now. They don't have to be long. They don't have to take a lot of thought, because these are the things when you've been coaching as long as I have, it's my 13th year, that we can talk about anything. We've experienced so much. I've left corporate. I started a business. I had a team. I lost that team. I opened a brick and mortar that closed because of a global pandemic. I mean, the things that we have learned in the last 13 years, every single one of us, are a lot. I don't need to like do research to talk about these 30 topics. I already know them. And it's just time to be in action and to let the momentum carry me through. And so I'm inviting you to do the same thing today. What have you been putting off? What have you been telling yourself, I really should do that? Well, if you take should out of it, what could you do right now? Or maybe not if you're driving a car, but even right now, if you are driving a car, what could you decide right now that will allow you to take action again and again with consistency, so that you can build momentum, so that the motivation is within you and it just starts to come out. So that's my invitation for you today. Decide what action you're going to take. And as soon as you can take it, take it. If you're driving a car, you don't have to take it right this second, but think about it. If you're at your desk right now and you can write something down, think to yourself for a second right now, what is it that I really do want to take action on that I've been holding myself back from? Let the action build your motivation. And if you're willing, tell me in the comments or wherever you're listening to this, wherever there might be comments, or come into our Facebook group in the Gather community, or connect with me on LinkedIn or whatever, wherever you can find me. Let me know what you got from hearing this, because every single one of you that are listening to this, if you like listening to podcasts, if it's about listening to people who help you with personal or professional development, you're looking for this kind of message. I know you are, because I am you. So decide what you're going to take action on. Write it down. Send it to me. Write it to me. Send it to your accountability partner or your coach or whoever, but send it to someone. Let it live in the world, because once you say it to another person, it is already in action. So let's do it. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Thank you for listening to the Bold and Brilliant podcast. I'm your host, Tracie Root, and I want to invite you to check out the show notes, find out where you can connect with our guests, find out more about what I and the Gather community have to offer you, and be sure to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite platform. Thanks so much.